Jung Hoo Lee will be the starting center fielder for the San Diego Padres come opening day. But why and who is Jung Hoo Lee anyways? Jung Hoo Lee is the KBO's 2022 MVP after having won his second straight batting title with a .349 average and 23 home runs in 142 games. This past season, he got off to a bad start after adjusting his swing to be more geared to hitting higher velocity pitches as he was expecting to post for MLB this season, which he's done. After righting the ship by mid-season last year and raising his average to a respectable .318, Lee injured his ankle and required season-ending surgery. And when I said a respectable .318 average by mid-season, I should have clarified respectable for him. You see, .318 would be the lowest Lee hit in 7 KBO seasons, also enjoying season averages of .355 in his sophomore season after hitting .324 to win Rookie of the Year as a 19-year-old. He also hit .360 in 2021 for his first batting title. Lee is a hitting machine with a .340 career average and .407 on-base percentage. Other than his age 19 and age 20 seasons, he has walked more than he has struck out. And in his 2022 MVP season, when he hit a career-high 23 home runs, he walked twice as much as he struck out. Who walks twice as much as they strike out? In each of his last 4 seasons, he has doubled more than he has struck out. But none of these facts and figures are actually that surprising to most KBO fans. That's because they remember Jung Hoo Lee's father, Jung Bum Lee. Nicknamed the Son of the Wind for his speed, Jung Bum Lee was named the 3rd greatest KBO player of all time in last year's 40th anniversary unveiling. The 1994 MVP had an Acuna-like season with a .393 average, 19 home runs, and 84 stolen bases, and that's when the league was known as a pitcher's league. Needless to say, Jung Hoo Lee has the genes and pedigree and was appropriately selected as a top pick in the 2017 draft. So, now that we know how capable Jung Hoo Lee is as a player, how do I know that he's going to sign with the San Diego Padres? As mentioned, Jung Hoo Lee comes from a baseball family and will get good baseball advice when selecting which team he wants to sign with. He's going to understand why Byung-ho Park failed in Minnesota, why Ha-seong Kim failed with the Orioles and Phillies, and most importantly, why Ha-seong Kim has thrived in San Diego. Korean players have always done better being around other Korean people. And Southern California easily has the biggest Korean population outside of Korea. Korean players are accustomed to being cheered on by their fans and having the comforts of Korean food, community, and support. It's why guys like Hyunjin Ryu and Chano Park thrived with the Dodgers, while Park and Kim failed with the Twins, Orioles, and Phillies respectively. So then why will it be the Padres that Lee signs with? Ha-seong Kim already being there is the most obvious clue. They were former teammates in Korea with the Heroes and recently watched the Korean series together when Kim returned to Korea at the conclusion of the MLB season. Lee has undoubtedly told his agent, Scott Boras, that he would prefer to play in San Diego with Kim, and Kim has undoubtedly told his team that they should sign Lee, probably having more scouting information on his former teammate than all other MLB organizations combined. San Diego might even be able to get Lee at a slight discount compared to other teams due to Lee's desire to play with his former teammate and in a setting built for success. The only way Lee doesn't sign with the Padres is if another team offers so much more money that Scott Boras would have to pull a veto. But don't expect that to happen, as other teams simply wouldn't have the resources to be as high on Lee as the Padres would, being fed inside information by Kim. And center field for the Padres is now a position of need after they just traded away Trent Grisham in the Juan Soto trade to New York. To me, it almost looked as if the Padres said, you have to take Grisham with Soto so we can sign Jung Hoo Lee as our future center fielder. So how much will Jung Hoo Lee cost the Padres? Ha-seong Kim was signed 3 years ago to a 4-year, $28 million contract. Expect Lee's deal to be significantly higher, probably over $50 million for 5 or 6 years because of the posting process. Kim had hit 30 home runs in his final KBO season and stole as many as 33 bases while only being caught 4 times one season, all while putting up a solid .294 career average across 7 seasons. Lee has never hit more than 23 home runs and has never stolen more than 13 bases, and he was caught 7 times that season. But Lee's hitting ability is simply generational. The other thing Lee has going for him in contract negotiations is actually Kim's success. Teams will be more likely to believe Lee's numbers will translate to Major League Baseball because Kim has already succeeded. 2016 saw a Korean invasion to Major League Baseball. Byung-ho Park to Minnesota, Hyun-soo Kim to Baltimore, Dae-ho Lee to Seattle, Seung-hwan Oh to the Cardinals. It was easily the greatest influx of KBO players making their way to Major League Baseball. But do you remember what led to those floodgates opening a year earlier? Jung Ho Kang was signed by the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2015 and went on to finish 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting behind Chris Bryant and Matt Duffy. Kang was the first ever Korean to be signed from the KBO through the posting system, and at least for that season, it turned out to be great for everyone involved. That validation is what led to all the KBO players getting their shot in the majors a year later in 2016. Fast forward 8 years later, and now again with Ha-seong Kim putting together a solid offensive season while winning a Gold Glove award, you can expect other Korean players to get paid, namely Jung Hoo Lee. For more insight into Major League Baseball, as well as their connection to international players and leagues, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video.